Hey guys, it's Dave with Dave's Property Services, and I'm coming at you again with another video. Lately, I've been getting a lot of questions about where to start when starting a junk removal business and how to gain traction when you're fresh and no one knows who you are. So I'll give you a list of certain techniques that work for me, which is really all I can do is tell you what I've done and what's worked for me. And I also discuss in there how the importance of building a client list that's really going to carry your business through slow times. So I have a list here, and what I'll do is I'll just go through each item, and you can write them down if you want to. So let's when you're starting out. When I started out, I did Craigslist posts every day, which I'm sure everyone else do, because that's the cheapest and easiest way to start getting the word out because it's free. But there's a lot of competition on Craigslist. And what I would do is, I'd have two accounts, and every morning, every day, I'd get up and I'd post from both accounts. Like clockwork, I'd get up before I even do anything else. I'll post, and then I'll go brush my teeth or take a shower, just like a normal routine. And then I'd also, during the day, because all I have is time, I'm not getting any jobs because no one knows who I am, I would make calls to realtors that I'd find online that are working in the local areas, making cold calls. And that got me nowhere because it's hard to sell anybody anything or your service over the phone. So after doing that for about 2 months, I realized I wasn't getting anywhere. And before I get discouraged, I said, let me try to switch up my game plan and try another route. So what I did was I did my research online, and I found out that if you're a new business starting up, it's always good to go to your local chamber of commerce. So that's what I did. You can go online. So every city has a chamber. You can go online, Google it. On all of their websites, they usually have an event list that tells you which days they have events online or which days they have events, networking events, breakfasts, and stuff like that. And you start there. You attend 1 or 2 of the meetings a month. I'm gonna let you know this now. If you go one time and you go one time, you pass out your cards and you don't go again, no one's really going to refer you any business, and you'll really not get anything from it. It took me, I'm gonna say 6 months or 4 months or 3 months of constantly going to each group, going to the meetings, showing up, shaking hands, building relationships, talking to people, passing out my cards before anyone started to refer me business. Because once they notice that, all right, this guy's he's always around. Let me actually find out what he does. And so I did that for a while, and that honestly led to me meeting other realtors, meeting other contractors, plumbers, REO realtors, and probate attorneys. That's really where they are. They're always networking. So that was instrumental in me actually starting to build up my client list. Because the client list is good because if you have, let's say you have 5 to 10 clients who call you 2 or 3 times a month regularly to do pickups or to do cleanups or to do jobs or to place bids and stuff like that, and you have that on a regular basis, that's really going to keep you afloat and carry your business, especially sometimes when your slow season comes around. You might not get the calls that you get coming in from the one shots, from the people who only call you and use you once. When that slows down, it's your client list that steps in and keeps everything going, keeps the money coming in, keeps the guys paid, keeps the bills paid, and keeps the insurance up to date. So you always want to try to be working on finding contractors and go business to business rather than business to client, is what I like to say. Another thing you can do that worked out well for me, I have a storage unit with CubeSmart that I use to keep my tools and to house my trailers and stuff like that. And I also leave the people who work there, because I'm there every day, I'm there all the time, I leave them my cards. And I tell them, hey, if you know anyone who needs to, because they can't use their dumpsters. So usually I just say, hey, if you know anyone who can use my services, just give them my card. And I go from Cube Smart to Cube Smart, storage unit to storage unit, storage facility to storage facility, and I do the same thing. And that generates steady calls because you know why? People are always moving in and out of those storage units, and they're always leaving stuff behind. And half the time, the stuff in there they don't want, but they have to get rid of. So what I do is give them my card, and I establish a minimum because usually those storage units they don't have that much in them. So it's usually going to be a quick job, but I establish a minimum of 125 for whatever it is, and it grows from there. If it's more than I expected, then I'll increase the price, but usually it might be a couch or a bed or a couch and a bed. I'll just, $125, $150 is usually what my baseline price will be. That's usually that's cheap. It just takes you some time to go out, take a day, and go out, map out all the places you're gonna hit up, and go hand out your cards. That's usually a good. I really recommend that, and it's a cheap, easy way to start. I also, whenever it is I go to Home Depot, if I'm going inside and I got one of my guys with me, I let my guys sit back, give them a stack of flyers, and tell them to just canvas the parking lot until I get back. And who's mainly going to Home Depot? Contractors, realtors, investors, people who can use your services because they're always fixing and flipping properties, going back to buy supplies. And if you're hitting the car with your flyer every time they're there or every time you stop at one, eventually you might, or no, I'm not gonna say might. Eventually you're gonna get some calls back from that little gesture right there, from planting that one seed. And another thing I had here, again, stay away from those field services companies. They're robbing you without a gun, pretty much. They price what they're gonna price, and they get you to do it cheaper. I don't know if that's what you want. Some people might not have a problem with that. For me, I have a problem with that because I don't want anyone making money off of me. I'd much rather make money for my business and not anyone else, unless they're working with me. I don't want to work for them. I much rather work with them. So I much rather present them with a price and they say, okay, I like this number, does it proceed, as opposed to them telling me you need to charge this. Can't do that. And another thing that I did that really works out for me is whenever it is I'm working in a neighborhood, I usually keep a yard sign, a couple yard signs in my truck. And whatever house we're working on, I'll put my yard sign in front of the house. So when people drive by and, the nosy ones who are looking by to see what's going on, they'll read my sign and they'll say, oh, I could use you. I need this, and this done. Fine. Give me a call. Let's set up an appointment. I'll come by, give you an estimate, get it done. So those are just some small things that you can do that are cheap and effective, that works if you just remain consistent. If you guys have any other questions or you need me to cover anything else, you can always comment below or just email me. I'm usually quick to respond. You can check my other videos, and check my other videos because I have a lot of material in that. Tomorrow I'll be making another video of a job that I have coming out. This was one of my bigger ones. It's a post-hurricane cleanup down here in Florida. And it's going to require me to have, a couple of my dump trailers out, as well as a Bobcat, and it should be fun because I love operating the Bobcats. So guys, just stay tuned, and I'll be back at you again tomorrow.